Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I'm going to be talking about hearing loss. My personal experience. I am actually deaf in my right ear, and I wanted to talk about it today with you guys and sort of give you my personal experience and tell you what a hearing aid is. Um, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so to get started, I'm first going to tell you when I found out I was deaf. Doctors think I was born deaf, but I officially found out I was deaf in about grade 4 during a hearing test. I was about 9. Um, it was an experience. I was shocked, but yes, I found out I was 9, and I was terrified. Um, I was scared people were going to make fun of me and think I was weird, crazy, you know. But no, that's not what they thought at all. They actually thought it was kind of cool that I was different and deaf, and they would always ask me, when are you getting your hearing aids? When are you getting them? They'd be so excited for me. But I had to do like therapy to help get over it because I was so scared. Um, I needed help in order to be okay with getting hearing aids. But then I got them, and I did not wear them for about until grade 7. When grade 7 hit, I realized in order to do school, because I was not doing great at that point, I would need to wear my hearing aids. So what did I do? I wore them to my first day of grade 7. Um, as the year went on, I would always get headaches. My class was very loud, and it was very hard to hear my teacher. The most embarrassing part about it for me, and I was not very specific on this, so it's not the teacher's fault at all, she would always say, "Be quiet, you're hurting Alicia." It made me so embarrassed to hear a teacher say that in front of all the kids, and they would all turn to me, and I would just be like, ah. I was terrified of what they would think of me. Um, so grade 7 was an experience. Grade 8 was kind of similar. My class did not have 30 kids like grade 7 did. It had a 15. The class was split in half. Um, it was a bit better, but when we were all together, it was very loud and noisy for me. I did not like gym. Gym was the worst because it was so loud and I could not hear my teacher for the life of me. Then high school came around and I got a FM system, which is like a microphone that the teacher wears and allows me to hear better. So I used that. It helped. It definitely helped. But I had so much problems with it. It did not work great for that year. But I started being more like I tried to explain things better to my teachers to help them understand what I needed them to do for me, all that. So I was more open, I guess, with my teachers, you could say. So it definitely helped. Um, yeah, uh, Grade 10 was about the same, but I started getting more sensitive to hearing as I learned more about my hearing loss, oddly enough. And I started noticing sounds more, and I got headaches a little bit more. But I also learned about something called hearing fatigue, which explains some things for me, like why I'm so tired. Hearing fatigue is when you hear too much because one ear is compensating for the other ear, and it was a lot of noise. So I found myself getting sleepy more often, and I now know why. Um, okay, so let's talk about what a hearing aid is. So a hearing aid is basically this. This is a hearing aid. So this part goes into my ear, and this part sits over here. You can see it sits right there. This goes into the ear. And basically, I have a receiver and I have a microphone. So one hearing aid will pick up the noise. The one in my good ear, or the one in my bad ear, sorry, will pick up the noise and send it to my good ear. If that makes sense. And it's basically a cross hearing aid, if you know what that is. But I don't know what else to say. There's a battery compartment on the hearing aid, if you can see. And there's also a volume control. Now, when I was younger, I did not have volume control, which did not help at all. So they did not allow me to have it on my hearing aid, which made it a lot harder to hear people. I found myself struggling quite a bit. It was very difficult. Um, that's the basics of a hearing aid. I can also show you what an FM is. So FM, it's basically a little necklace type thing. I have it here, actually. These stay at the school, and the teacher just wears it around their neck. It comes with a strap to put around their neck. It's basically this. This is a mute button, so they just click it when they're going to talk to a student outside the classroom. Most teachers don't remember that part because they forget that I can hear their conversations. So I end up having to remove my hearing aid because I hear them talking with that student. Eesh. I hear a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't hear, but that's just what happens. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about, but yes, that's my experience with hearing loss. Definitely a different video. If you enjoyed hearing my experience with hearing loss, definitely let me know. I can talk about it because I have unilateral hearing loss, which is much different than hearing loss in both ears. It's different in many ways. I have no echolocation, so I can't hear sound. If you talk to me from, let's say this side, I will look everywhere behind this side and that side, but not over here. Fourth time's a charm, am I right? So it's very hard for me to tell where you're talking from. I also don't catch everything a person says. So if you talk to me, it's unlikely I'll hear every word. I'll hear about 50% of what you say, and I might miss some of it. It's normal. Most people do. I also can't hear anything behind me or beside me. So if someone's talking behind me, I'm not going to hear them. They have to tap me. But I've also felt more out of place. I go to a school of all hearing people. I've never met anyone like me in my life, which is very hard. And I've definitely felt more alone. I've been to places where there are a lot of people who are deaf, but they're deaf in both ears. They aren't deaf in one ear, so their struggles are way different. And the music for them is cranked, so they can feel the vibrations through their feet. That isn't necessary for me, so I'll just end up with a headache. It's very difficult. I also don't know sign language, which is not useful in that community. But luckily there's always a translator there, a person who's translating, helping to understand if you can hear or not, what sign language is and things. So, yes, it's definitely harder to be deaf, but I've managed to find my place, and I want to be able to advocate for those people who don't want to talk and speak up for themselves, because it isn't common. 1 in 1,000. That's what the rate is. So yeah, my experience might be different from others because I live in Canada, and payment I think is different from other places. I'm not sure though. I'm no expert. But yeah, so I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more, I can definitely teach you guys more if you want. I have a page on Facebook called Unilateral Hearing Loss if you want to check it out and learn some things. And definitely let me know what else you want to hear. So thank you for watching. Bye.